You are consciousness. You are creating your own reality through consciousness. And simply put, the consciousness is divided in 3 layers. It is more than that, but to understand it is like the ego consciousness, it's the character, it's the body, it's the matrix that we are programmed with. This is the ego consciousness. And then we have the soul consciousness. And the soul consciousness have all the experience and all the understanding from all life on this planet, on other planets. So the soul consciousness go beyond time and space. And a lot of people call the soul consciousness subconscious, because it is often subconscious to us, because it isn't aware. We aren't awake. So what we have learned early in life, when we are a child in our mother's womb and in the early life, we don't remember. So we have suppressed it, and also we have suppressed earlier life and life on other planets. So what I call soul consciousness is also the subconscious. And above that, we have the supreme, the super consciousness. And the super consciousness, it is the essence. It is the universal God source of us. And it is the universal God source of us that are projecting our essence into experience. So my ego is manifesting what my super consciousness, supreme consciousness want me to experience. But because it's a big difference that to just say, this is the way it is, and that's the way it is. But to really feel it with emotion is a big difference. So to know which level are we creating our reality from, and aligning ego consciousness with soul consciousness will be the most beneficial we do. And soul consciousness, how do you connect to the soul consciousness? It's through our heart. And if we have a closed heart, then we live only from the ego consciousness, because then we want life to be in a very set way. We don't go above what we already know. So we have to go in the unknown, what we are afraid of, kind of, to expand. So, and the soul, if you are aligned to your soul, the soul really wants you to experience hardship, because it is in hardship you really expand. So if you have a diagnosis, if you have a sickness, remember you have on a subconscious level created this. And from this level you can really expand. All sicknesses, all imbalances are really the biggest portal and opening to expand big. And people who have a lot of illnesses or diagnoses or syndromes, they have chosen a life that they really can expand from. The more imbalanced you are, the more you can expand. And I have had a lot of health issues, big time. I want to commit suicide. I had anxiety. I had depression. I had chronic fatigue. I had a lot of back pain. My spine was kind of broken several places. Not broken, but it was collapsed. So all my sicknesses was actually an portal to really grow. So from 2013 to 2023, wow, the expansion I have had has been big. And sometimes I think, okay, it's not so big. It is big, because now I'm living from the 5th paradigm, and I have aligned ego consciousness, soul consciousness, and supreme consciousness. And I'm helping others to find their essence. I'm living with divine grace, like with my divine design, who know who I am. I know why I have incarnated in this form. But it is through consciousness. We have to use consciousness to experience. And consciousness doesn't need a body. But as a body, as a physical being, we need consciousness. So consciousness goes through us. And I use consciousness when I go into an animal, into the earth, into everything. So consciousness uses every living being, because everything is vibration. So this is also, I'm talking on the smallest level, kind of with the photons, and we become the all, because we can go into the I am experience, and I am actually says that you can become whatever you want. But before we come to the I am consciousness, we have to balance out what we have created. And then it also will be supportive if we know something about divine design. If you know your divine design, the best a parent can do for their children is living from their divine design. I created sickness in my children because I didn't live with my divine design. Until 2013, I lived the society matrix, what the culture said, what I had to do. So when I connected to my divine design, I have helped my children really own their essence. They are more healthy. They connect more to their soul consciousness. Because if they did the same as me, just living from their ego consciousness, then we create sickness unconscious, because we live from the unconscious, the subconscious. But we want to awake. We want to awake to live as free being, living with the greatness we are. So, but consciousness needs this avatar. It needs a vehicle to use in this world. So just remember that all this consciousness are there. We cannot escape consciousness. So through consciousness we experience life. Animals, cats, dogs, insects, all have consciousness. And also everything we create have consciousness. So consciousness, it's very really a big perspective, but just know that this is the fundamental of us. We need consciousness. And even when I die, my ego consciousness die. The matrix of the ego die. But the soul consciousness and the supreme consciousness never die. It is eternal. So the soul remember all its life. When you connect to the soul consciousness, it knows who it is. And it has been man, woman, animal, extraterrestrial. It has been everything. So you can connect to your inner wisdom. But as a part of it, we have to use consciousness. So just knowing what level of consciousness are we operating on will be very beneficial. Because to really own my essence, to really own my greatness, I had to go from ego consciousness, living from soul consciousness. And yes, I have still some reaction, but then it's like, okay, that was a reaction, because when you are on the soul consciousness or on the supreme consciousness, you never react. But I have to, this body has its matrix, but I know that I can go beyond it. But sometimes it's like, if a bomb goes, it's like, you react, kind of. So we have some instinct, and we have, because we are in physical form. And supreme consciousness, it is no form. So it is soul consciousness and ego consciousness that had a form. So we relate all the time to form, what we have manifest. But it's very helpful to co-create with all dimension of consciousness. It makes life so much easier, and I want to create peace on earth. I want everyone to really awaken so that we can create the life that I have seen in 2222. If you haven't read the future letter, if you want to live really a free life, I encourage you to read the letter from 2222, because then I have merged time and see what are we living as in this time. But all of us have to go within. And a lot of people say that it will be a separation this time, because a lot of people hold so much on to their ego consciousness, their ego personality. And I said, I'm my ego. Yeah, it is your free will. And you think it is your free will, but actually you are paying the price to just living with a very small fraction of your being. So it is kind of the expanding, and we want to evolve, we want to grow. And if you really want to grow, we want to align with your soul consciousness, and living from the soul consciousness, then you go through your subconsciousness and do it conscious. So you put it out and see, wow, this is what I have experienced. This is my knowing, my direct knowing. So, yes, that was what I wanted to say about this 3 consciousness level. I wish you an amazing day and all the best to you from me. Bye bye.